it's amazing, really, that there are things on this car that people really got excited about. The advertising and PR people got excited about at the time. This is an original brochure, sales brochure for this particular car, 55 Plymouth, and it highlights some of the major. I mean, we've got lovely women who are used to promote this car. I mean, look, it's got lovely door handles. That's amazing, and it's got wheel trim that sparkle when the car drives. I mean, these are highlighted issues that are used to sell the car. It's got nice nice lights at the back, and of course it's got this wonderful, which I think is wonderful actually, gear lever, which is easy to use, and it had a safety feature, because they made an issue at the time that if there was an accident, and God forbid you were pushed into this, it's designed to brake, and it wouldn't spear you, I suppose. But the only problem is, what about this giant steering wheel that was in front of it? But we had different issues of safety, and I suppose in those days. Oh, we've still got a lovely lady in the brochure. There's a car. Look, it's the same, and this car shows you it's got lovely material. In fact, that's the same color as my car here, and this was a big selling point. It's got a metallic thread in the material. It's like a lurex thread, and it was a very popular point in selling the car. So people got excited in those days. People got excited about things. For example, it's got 2-speed wipers. I mean, that's amazing. And it had a built-in radio. Well, I suppose many cars had that then. There were 2-speed heater. But actually, in addition to that, there were another 2-speed heater with a separate motor that just simply gave hot air to demist the windows. Quite an amazing innovation in 1955. The only problem was, as I found anyway, it doesn't really work very well. The motor is quite powerful, and there's quite a good flow of air, but it just doesn't seem to demist the windscreen. We've got a big glove box in the center. Very useful, actually. Interesting point here. In the first models that were produced, this ashtray was slightly different. It didn't have this finger grip in it, and people complained they couldn't find where the ashtray was. You were supposed to pull it from underneath, I believe, and later on they modified it to have the finger pulled. We have a symmetrical dashboard, which there again is useless, because from the driver's point of view, you can't see these two dials over here. I guess that the idea was you asked your wife as you were driving along to give you an explanation of what was happening with those dials. Probably it was made that way because a lot of these cars were exported, and many went to countries like Hong Kong and Singapore, I think, and South Africa, Australia and New Zealand, countries that drove on the left-hand side, so the steering wheel could be easily converted for use like that. One of the more advanced features, I think, for a car that's 55 years old, is the fact that it had a wash wipe system. There's a big button here on the floor, and when you push it, oops, yes, it's happening. Water actually comes up, but more importantly, when the engine's turned on, the wipers work at the same time. So we've got an automatic wash wipe system. In fact, maybe we should try it and see what happens. We'll start the car. Well, it started all right. Now, so we'll push the button, and there we have it. As long as you hold your foot on the button, the radio's coming on.
Go, it's on.
As long as you hold your foot on the button, the wipers will work. take them off, they stop. Obviously, whoops, we got the washers going again. It's a good system, but it's not perfect. But we have 2 speed wipers. One. Oh, and a very important point, 50 years ago, of course, we had a cigarette lighter. Something that nowadays is frowned on, I guess. There were a lot of luxuries in the back that people were extremely pleased to have. We have an armrest. We have a opening window vent and a hook above the window so that you could hang your clothes, like your suit or your jacket, when you were traveling. Actually, that was quite useful, especially in America when people were traveling long distances in hot weather, and men were wearing suits in those days, or jackets, so they actually could hang them up on a hanger there. Couldn't see out the window, but nevertheless you could hang. Parcel shelf at the back, where normally people would keep boxes of tissues, I guess, and umbrellas, or a nodding dog. But I mean, these things are all just normal parts of cars today. But in the time that this car was developed and made, like all others, these were big selling points. Okay, I want to demonstrate actually this blower system, which is, I think, quite good for the year. So we'll have to start the engine again. Now over here we've got 2 switches in one. One switch here is a 2-speed heater for the cabin. Very effective, actually. It gives off a lot of heat. But in addition, on this ring we've got another 2-speed heater, separate motor actually, that runs a heater for the front windscreen. And I think you can hear that going, and actually there's quite a lot of air coming out of there, but as I say, it's ineffective really. Strange. But we have the air conditioning system, which obviously is partly worked from the vent at the side. Actually, this is very good, and you might freeze a bit in the winter, but it does clear the windscreen well, with air coming in here. The air's coming on, hitting this leading edge, and being driven in a great force here, so that the passengers freeze to death on a cold day, but the windscreen gets cleared. The other thing, of course, that is a really great innovation, and all the people miss this air conditioning, very cheap to run, of course, is the lever, which in this case slides side to side, because most of them, most of my other cars anyway, they used to go down, which was difficult because you then crushed yourself against the steering wheel as you were driving along and almost drove off the road. But this one is easier because you just lift it to the side, and then of course the vent's coming up and down. Now that is very good. It's got a screen on it to stop flies coming in, and it's up high, of course, so you don't get all the fumes. Excellent. I think it's excellent. Another thing, we've got a panoramic rear view mirror. It goes very well with the panoramic rear window. As far as the front is concerned, we've got finally we've got this beautiful curved windscreen. God knows what happens if it gets broken. I don't want to think about that, but it is excellent because you don't have a pillar coming down in front of you, an A-pillar, which obstructs your view as you go around a corner. And also, unlike some of the other models that came a few years after this, they were protruded into the cabin, which made it difficult when you actually got into the car or out of the car. This one actually it's very good. It's a nice size, nice angle. Very, very good indeed. But these points, you know, these are all real big features. People talked and discussed them all in magazines and on TV programs, and they hummed and hawed about whether it was right or whether it was wrong, and we would laugh now, I guess, at these points being so important. But in 1955, when this car was built, these were the key factors that governed actually a lot of the styling. Oh well, I think I'm going to go for a cruise. I'll see you later. Oops. Right.